Ladies and gentlemen, there comes a moment in life when you look back and whisper to yourself, if only I knew then what I know now. A moment when you realize that wealth was never a mystery. It was a pattern, a rhythm, a set of habits silently shaping destinies, while most people slept, doubted, and hesitated. Tonight, I want to break that silence. Because wealth is not luck. Wealth is not a family inheritance. Wealth is not reserved for a chosen few who got lucky. No, wealth is attracted, pulled, drawn in by invisible habits that work in the background of your life. Just like gravity. Some of these habits I learned far too late. Habits that could have changed my direction, shortened my struggle, and multiplied my growth years earlier. But today, you will not walk away with regret. Today, I want to place in your hands 5 habits, 5 life-shifting, spirit-awakening, destiny-redirecting habits. The very habits I wish someone had whispered into my ear when I was lost, confused, and stumbling in the dark. If you master these, wealth will stop running from you and start running toward you. Let us begin. The habit of planting intentional seeds daily. Wealth begins long before money appears. It begins as an invisible seed, planted in the soil of your thoughts, words, and actions. Many people chase money, but very few learn the sacred habit of planting wealth seeds. They want the harvest without sowing, the fruit without nurturing, the outcome without the daily obedience of planting. But life has never worked that way. Everything visible was once invisible. Everything great was once small. Everything abundant started as a seed. The habit of planting intentional seeds is the recognition that every day you are shaping your future through what you choose to plant. A seed may look insignificant, but the silent power inside it is enough to create forests, feed nations, and sustain generations. In the same way, your small daily habits, your quiet decisions, your unseen disciplines, they carry within them a hidden greatness that unfolds with time. When you plant intentional seeds, you do not allow life to happen randomly. You direct it, you design it, you command it to align with your purpose. A farmer who throws seeds in the wrong soil will not blame the heavens when nothing grows. In the same way, those who plant carelessly will harvest chaos. But those who plant with clarity will harvest abundance. Your thoughts are seeds. Every time you visualize success, you are planting a seed of prosperity. Every time you declare, I am capable, I am rising, I am advancing, you are watering the ground of your future. Every time you meditate on growth instead of lack, possibility instead of fear, expansion instead of limitation, you shift the direction of your destiny. Your words are seeds. Words create atmosphere. They attract or repel. They multiply or destroy. Speak lack long enough, and your life will conform to it. Speak abundance daily, and your path widens toward opportunity. Wealthy people speak differently because they plant differently. Your actions are seeds. Every book you read, every skill you learn, every hour you invest in growth, these are seeds that rise later as promotions, business opportunities, divine connections, and unexpected breakthroughs. The world does not reward the seed, it rewards the harvest. But the harvest only comes to those willing to sow. The habit of planting intentional seeds also means consistency. A seed does not grow because you planted it once. It grows because you keep watering it even when nothing seems to be happening. Many people give up during the invisible stage, when the seed is growing roots, not fruits. They walk away too soon, not realizing that the most important growth happens underground. Plant every day. Plant when you feel inspired. Plant when you feel tired. Plant when you see growth. Plant when you see nothing at all. Because intentional seeds always bear intentional fruit. Those who cultivate this habit stop waiting for life to change. They start creating the change. They become builders instead of wishers. They rise above excuses and step into responsibility. And slowly, the invisible becomes visible. The seed becomes the harvest. The planting becomes the abundance they once dreamed of. Plant intentionally today, for every seed you plant becomes a voice in your tomorrow. And your tomorrow will always reflect the faithfulness of your planting. The habit of radical financial clarity. Wealth does not grow in confusion. Money avoids uncertainty the way a seed avoids concrete. People often struggle financially not because they are incapable, but because their financial world is foggy. They do not know where their money goes, how much they waste, or what they must build toward. But clarity is power. Clarity illuminates the path. Clarity awakens responsibility. Clarity replaces fear with control. Radical financial clarity is not simply about budgeting. It is about understanding the spiritual and practical flow of your resources. It is about seeing your life clearly enough that money no longer slips through your fingers unnoticed. When you track your money, you track your destiny. When you understand your finances, you understand your habits. Wealthy people are not just earners, they are monitors, evaluators, adjusters. This habit forces you to look at your financial reality honestly, not emotionally, not fearfully. Honestly, many avoid this because they fear what they might see: waste, impulsiveness, undisciplined habits, unnecessary spending. But ignoring the truth never builds wealth. Facing it does. Clarity means knowing the purpose of every dollar. If your money has no assignment, it will always disappear. If your money does not have a destination, it will wander. Wealthy people tell their money what to do. Struggling people let their money tell them what to do. Clarity also means planning. A foggy future produces a foggy present. When you know what you are building, an investment portfolio, a business, passive income streams, a savings fortress, your decisions become stronger, sharper, and more disciplined. You no longer spend emotionally because your vision is louder than your impulses. This habit transforms your relationship with money. Instead of fearing bills, you organize them. Instead of avoiding numbers, you study them. Instead of drifting financially, you architect your wealth intentionally. Clarity leads to confidence, and confidence attracts opportunities. You cannot walk into prosperity with your eyes closed. You must open them. Radical financial clarity is not merely mathematical, it is spiritual. Confusion is a thief. Disorder is a blockade. When your financial world is chaotic, doors close. But when it is ordered, opportunities appear that once seemed invisible. Wealth gravitates to those who can manage it. The moment you gain clarity, you stop leaking money. You stop sabotaging yourself. You stop stepping over dollars to pick up pennies. You begin respecting every resource in your life. And in return, those resources multiply. Clarity is the difference between wandering in circles and walking in purpose. It is the discipline that breaks poverty cycles. It is the light that reveals the next step. It is the habit wealthy people protect with their lives. And when you master it, you no longer chase wealth. You become the kind of person wealth chases. The habit of skillful multiplication. Most people obsess over earning more, but earning is only the beginning. Earning builds income, multiplication builds wealth. Wealthy people understand that money is not meant to sit, it is meant to work. It is meant to grow, expand, duplicate, and return with companions. Money uninvested is money unemployed. The habit of skillful multiplication is learning to see every resource, finances, time, skills, opportunities through the lens of multiplication. It is the refusal to remain stagnant. It is the wisdom to recognize that what you have today is the seed of what you can multiply tomorrow. Many people bury their seeds out of fear. They wait for perfect timing. They wait for certainty. They wait for guarantees that never come. But wealth responds to courage. Multiplication begins when you step beyond the comfort of simply earning and into the responsibility of managing. When you multiply, you take what is small and turn it into what is significant. You learn to invest, not just save. Saving protects, investing multiplies. Saving maintains, investing advances. Saving is good stewardship, but investing is destiny stewardship. Skillful multiplication requires education. You cannot multiply what you do not understand. Wealthy people study money, how it moves, how it grows, how it compounds. They read, they learn, they observe patterns. They do not invest blindly, they invest wisely. This habit also requires patience. Multiplication is rarely immediate. Like a seed growing underground, investments often develop quietly before they appear visibly. Many abandon their multiplication too early because they want instant results. But multiplication rewards those who stay committed. Multiplication is not only financial, it is personal. Multiply your strengths. Multiply your creativity. Multiply your connections. Multiply your opportunities by saying yes to growth, yes to learning, yes to challenges that elevate you. A person who multiplies internally will always multiply externally. The world does not reward potential, it rewards multiplication. And the more you multiply what you have, the more capacity you build to handle more. Wealth flows to managers, not dreamers. It flows to multipliers, not hoarders. It flows to risk takers, not fear-driven thinkers. Master this habit, and money will grow even when you sleep. Doors will open even when you're unaware. Opportunities will find you, because you have become a steward worthy of increase. The habit of aligning environment with prosperity. Your environment shapes your wealth more than your effort. You can be disciplined, hardworking, and intelligent, but if your environment opposes your growth, it will suffocate your potential. Your environment is not just the physical space you live in, it is your circle, your routine, your atmosphere, the voices around you, and the energy that surrounds your daily life. People often underestimate the power of atmosphere. But atmosphere affects appetite, it affects decisions, it affects confidence, it affects imagination. When you remain in an environment of negativity, scarcity, gossip, or mediocrity, your mind begins to mirror it. Dreams shrink, vision dims, courage weakens. To attract wealth, your environment must align with abundance. Surround yourself with people who speak possibilities, not limitations. People who talk about strategies, not complaints. People who discuss growth, not drama. You cannot grow in an environment where everyone is shrinking. You cannot prosper where everyone is resisting change. Your physical environment matters as well. Clutter breeds confusion. Disorder drains clarity. Create a space that reflects the future you are building, not the past you are escaping. Wealthy people intentionally design their environment to elevate their mindset. Your routine is part of your environment. A routine filled with distractions, entertainment, and emotional impulsiveness cannot produce wealth. But a routine built on learning, planning, working, and reflecting creates momentum. Momentum attracts wealth. The habit of aligning your environment with prosperity is not about perfection. It is about direction. Slowly remove what weakens you and increase what strengthens you. As your environment rises, your life rises with it. The habit of relentless self-upgrade. Wealth grows only at the speed of your personal development. You cannot attract wealth with an outdated mindset, an expired skill set, or a stagnant version of yourself. Every new level of income requires a new level of identity. That is why wealthy people constantly reinvent, improve, refine, and elevate themselves. Relentless self-upgrade means you never stop becoming better. You never stop learning. You never stop stretching beyond the version of yourself that feels comfortable. Comfort creates complacency, and complacency suffocates growth. Your income is a reflection of who you are, your discipline, your skill, your courage, your resilience, your knowledge. When you upgrade yourself, your capacity expands. When your capacity expands, opportunities open that were once invisible to you. This habit requires humility. You must admit you don't know everything. You must be willing to be taught, corrected, challenged, and sharpened. Growth often feels uncomfortable because it stretches the boundaries of your identity. Read daily. Study masters. Learn skills that multiply your value. Surround yourself with mentors and people who think bigger than you. Upgrade your habits, your diet, your discipline, your attitude. When you invest in yourself, you become a magnet for abundance. You stop chasing wealth. Wealth finds you because you are now the kind of person who can carry it wisely. The habit of faith-driven, bold action. Faith without action is intention without manifestation. Wealth requires bold steps, courageous decisions, and the willingness to move, even when uncertainty surrounds you. Wealthy people do not wait for perfect conditions. They create conditions through action. Bold action is the bridge between desire and destiny. Many people dream, plan, and think, but never move. They delay, hesitate, doubt, and procrastinate until the opportunity disappears. But those who succeed understand that action creates momentum, and momentum creates breakthroughs. Faith-driven action means you move before you feel ready. You take the next step trusting that the ground will appear under your feet. You start the business, launch the idea, learn the skill, invest in the opportunity, open the door, even when fear whispers its excuses. This habit requires courage. Fear will always attempt to paralyze you. But courage does not mean you feel no fear. It means you move anyway. It means you choose purpose over comfort, direction over hesitation, calling over convenience. Bold action also creates clarity. You learn faster by doing than by waiting. Every step teaches you something. Every attempt sharpens you. Every decision builds strength. Wealthy people are action takers, not wish makers. Faith-driven action is a declaration to life itself. I am ready to rise. I am ready to grow. I am ready to receive. And life responds with opportunities, connections, ideas, and open doors. When you master this habit, you become unstoppable. You become a mover, a creator, a builder of destiny. And wealth gravitates toward boldness like metal to a magnet.